Okay, this is our last example. You have a couple different sets of parallel lines, and so your strategy here is going to be just to work with one set of parallel lines at a time. It doesn't really matter where you start. Sometimes it might, but what I mean is if you start with M and N are parallel because it's the first thing, and that doesn't work out for you, then you can start with something else. So if I start with M and N parallel, then I need to look at which transversal I'm talking about. But I'm going to go ahead and start with writing down my given. M is parallel to N. And I personally don't like writing more than one given at a time because I want to use the given before I go on to something else. So if M and N are parallel, I need to figure out which angles I want to look at. Like, in other words, which line is my transversal. So use the strategy of covering up part of the diagram. If I just look at the two yellow highlighted parallel lines along with line B doesn't make a good transversal because all I have on there is angle 2. If I look at the two yellow highlighted lines, M and N, and I look at line A as my transversal, then I have angles 1 and 3, which is an angle pair. Those are corresponding angles, so I can use those. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have M parallel to N, and I have 1 and 3 are corresponding angles. Definition, corresponding angles. If I have parallel lines and corresponding angles together, then I know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. That's my corresponding angles theorem, or postulate. So now I have 1 and 3 congruent. I've also used this first given. I don't have any vertical angles shown to me with angle numbers. I don't have any linear pairs, so I'm going to go to my other given. So since I'm going to focus on the other two lines, go ahead and get rid of those. And then I've already done something with angle 1, and I need to do something with angle 2. So I'm going to let N be my transversal. If N is my transversal, I can again start by saying, let's see, I'll be on step 4. Now I'm going to use A and B parallel. State your parallel lines. State your angle pair. My angle pair are angle 3 and 2, and those are alternate interior angles. So I have a given, a definition, alternate interior angles. If I have parallel lines, then my alternate interior angles are congruent. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. Alternate interior angles theorem. And now I can use transitive as my last step to say that because angle 1 is congruent to 3 and 2 is congruent to 3, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because of the transitive property.